Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Kena Upanishad, chapter 2, and the fifth verse we are going to be looking at today. And last week, towards the end, we are looking at the verse number 4, which was about, where are we? प्रतिबोध विदितं मतम् अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यं विद्यया विन्दते अमृतम्. So here it was told how amrutatva is gained. Pratyak bodh pratiti. That only when we come to know the Atma as immediate, that alone is Brahman. Atma, this pratibodh that we are talking about, it cannot be known objectively. The Atma cannot be known objectively. So, for a knowledge to take place, we saw before that the subject, object, and the instrument of knowledge is required. Three things are required. But now I ask you, the subject, object, and instrument of knowledge. This is happening with every thought. These three are coming up. Do you feel you are being born with every thought and dying with every thought? No. This is not your experience. Similarly, just as every thought has these three components, they are called the Triputi, triad. Similarly, right now we are in the waking experience. So waker, waking world, waking experience. Similarly, dreamer, dream world, dream experience. When you go from waking to sleep or through dream to sleep, you feel, oh, you have gone. But when you go into dream, you don't know that you are a waker. When you have gone to sleep, you don't know you are a waker. Waker has got no entry. But do you know that the waker, waking world and waking experience come and go every day? Dreamer, dream world and dream experience come and go every day. And the absence of these two happens every day. Yes, that is Pratyagatma. He who develops this acumen, this knack. So when I give you this example that all these three triads, waker, waking world and waking experience, dreamer, dream world and dream experience, and their absence, these three triads come and go every day, but you don't come in every day. You say, yes. Yeah, I must be someone other. I am other than them. I never experienced that I have come and gone. Can we do that with regards to every thought? That every thought comes and goes, I do not come and go. I am ever the constant. I am ever the unchanging. I am, full stop. Pratibodh is that knowledge which is born, see what will happen if you take that position. Pratibodh viditam. Pratibodh means aparoksha bodha, direct knowledge. Direct knowledge does not require the intervention of thought. The direct knowledge, the direct knowledge that I am the Atma does not require the intervention of a knower. And it does not require the intervention of knowing. See? But the nature of the mind is what? To have thoughts. It is going, pumping thoughts one after the other. So are we able to catch when every thought arises? Have we developed the knack to be the constant one? Unaffected by the thought, uninfluenced by the thought, not carried away by the thought, not acknowledging the thought, not rejecting the thought, not memorizing the thought. All these things happen in the mind. But who are you? You are the one who is aware, who is the Sakshi, the one who is never changed. Remember, for a thought to come, there must be an I, there must be a subject, whatever the object of the thought is, and the instrument, the knowing or the experiencing, whatever. Let that happen in the mind. Because the I thought is also in the mind, the object is also in the mind, and the knowingness is also in the mind. And it has got nothing to do with you. Remember, we saw the 5 causes. Oh, I'm confusing. It is in the Gita class. We saw the 5 causes which prompt the activity. So activity is only at the equipment level. Activity is only at the specificity level. Activity is only possible at the finite level. I'm putting different words so that you don't get confused. Specificity, finitude, limitedness, conditioned, inert. Activity is possible only in these things. Another big one. Activity is possible only in the mithya pratyaya. That is a big one. What is that? Activity is possible in that which does not exist. Lage raho. Your whole life is based on that I am the body. And we are saying all activities based on that which does not exist. Hello, ho gaya kaam tamam. The movement, example, the movement of or the coming and going of day and night, or the sunrise and sunset. Where is it happening? Can you see it? Yes. Can you experience it? Yes. Who experiences it? Who sees it? The eyes. Who experiences it? The mind. But is there anything called day and night? As an object, it's an experience, yes. Is there anything called sunrise and sunset? Your eyes are seeing the illusion, but does the sun set or does the sun rise? No. Mithya, illusion. Just as the rainbow is an illusion. You see it, but you know it is not permanent. You enjoy for that moment. You see the mirage waters. You don't go to drink it. You know it is a mirage. But when you look at this body and you look at all the activities that are ensuing in this body, breath, mind, intellect, you take it to be real. But how can that which is changing continuously be real? So pratibodha viditam is coming to the constant principle that I have never changed with every thought. I am the constant one. In my presence, all the thoughts are coming and going, all the activity at the physical, subtle, causal, it's happening. And remain firm in that. With every thought, again and again, you will miss it many times. Keep trying. Keep coming back to yourself. And when is the best time to come? In a satsang. Because every time you are being reminded. See? So immortality cannot be gained from something outside. You cannot illuminate the sun with some light outside. Sun is self-illumined. Similarly, the self is self-illumined. No thought can illuminate it. No senses, none of the senses can illuminate. The intellect cannot, no concepts can illuminate. No feeling can illuminate. No emotion can illuminate. The pranas cannot illuminate. Why? It is self-illumined. It is self-existing. It doesn't require any support. When you move away from the Atma, when you consider yourself to be the Atma, not to be the Atma, you forget yourself, who you really are, the constant one. Immediately, you will become the waker or the dreamer or the sleeper. When you forget you are the man or the woman, immediately you will take some role. I am the mother or the daughter or the sister or the husband or the wife or the brother or the son. Some role will come. Some hat you will wear. But that is a temporary one. That is not pratibodha. So, with every thought, we are able to come to ourselves. Every thought brings us to ourselves. In other words, that knowledge which doesn't require, or in other words, I can say, thought-free knowledge of the self is the pratibodha. Because the moment you come to know yourself, is there a thought for you? The moment you wake up from the sleep, is there a dream for you to go back to? The moment you become available to yourself as the infinite, glorious self, then will the waking be available to you? No, then you have become all pervasive. Amritatva. So, Amritatva, here it was told that it cannot be gained through mantra, where it is in the 4th verse. Yeah. Mantra, aushadhi, tapa, yoga, virya, mrityu, na shaknoti, abhibhavitum, as they are all anitya. See? So, mantra, tapa, yoga, virya, that which mantra comes and goes. It is not permanent. Tapa, for some time you do it, then you don't do it. Then that yoga, you get inspired, you start the yoga. How many of you are continuing yoga for entire life? We are all prarambashur. We are all inspired to begin but never continue. So that which becomes kshina, that which becomes and goes. Virya, sometimes we are full of vitality, sometimes we are push, like a pricked balloon. So how can mantra, tapa, yoga, virya, how can they deliver you the immortality? Immortality is gained only by Atma Bala, having complete self-confidence, doubt-free. Doubt is only by way of thought. Doubt is only by way of objectivity. Objectivity is thought only. And what is objectivity? Something separate, something which comes and goes. Objectivity is that which comes and goes. Whether it is a thought, whether it is any of the stimuli. So Atma Bala is that virya, that strength, that vitality, that conviction, that resolve, which is gained not from anything else, but from the self alone. But from the self alone. That is Atma Bala. That strength which is not dependent on anything whatsoever. That is Atma Bala. And therefore here it said, where are we? न अन्येन इति अतो अन्य साधनत्वाद आत्मविद्या वीर्यस्य तदेव वीर्यं मृत्युं शक्नोति अभिभवितुं यत् एवं आत्मविद्याकृतं वीर्यम् आत्मन एव विन्दते अतः विद्यया आत्मविषयया विन्दते अमृतम् अमृतत्वम् नायम् आत्मा बलहीनेन लभ्यः इति अथर्वणे अतः समर्थो हेतुः अमृतत्वं हि विन्दत इति. So न अन्येन, not by anything else. Amritatva is gained by that which is Amrit. The sun is illumined by its own light. Amritatva, immortality is gained, can be gained only by that which is immortal. How can some mortal, tapa is mortal, yoga is mortal, japa is mortal. Mortal means which goes away after some time. Virya is finite. Then how come that which is becoming less and less and less after some time, mantra, tapa, yoga, virya, etc., how can that, or even mrityu for that matter, how can these deliver immortality? It is not possible. So don't get lost in these things. Now don't come up with an argument, so we should not do the japa, we should not do tapasya, we should not do this, we should not do that. We are telling, Upanishads are talking about the end game. All the first two parts are there. First is you do all these sadhanas for body disidentification. So why do you do mantra japa? Why do you do tapa? Why do you yoga? Why do you develop virya? To bring about body disidentification. This is the first step. There sadhana is required. Then second part, You have got disidentified from the body. You can, you are not the body. You're convinced of it. Everything has clicked. All the logic, all the direct experience is also there. This happens at the Anahat Chakra. Now what? Now next stage is that this Atma that I am, this consciousness that I am, is not one per body. It is the same one which is expressing in and through. It is all that there is. That is the second. When we come to Vedanta, we expect, or here you can see the student who has come. He has already done the first part. He is not coming to the first part. How do you know? From his questions. So sometimes an unprepared student can find his mind in conundrum. When he is presented this knowledge, he is so living from morning till evening, he lives in objectivity, and for 1.5 hours he is told that you are the Atma, you are the self-illumined, you are the infinite one, you alone are expressing in and through the waking dream, deep sleep, you alone are Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad, and it becomes an unpalatable dish that has been served to a student. Why? Because he is not prepared. And what is the preparation? He is not disidentified from the body. If you are not disidentified from the body, you can listen to all this, but no lasting transformation will happen. Yes, it might inspire you, but still you will have to do the first step, which is body disidentification. For that you do. It can happen by merely listening, and by grace of God, bang, you become introvert, and it can happen. Nothing is impossible. It is in this creation. But majority of the questions that appear in a student's mind are only because he has lived 22 and a half hours. How many? 22 and a half hours in a day without awareness, without contemplating on his essential nature. How many of you, tell sincerely, how many of you have gone through the verses of this Upanishad in the last 1 week? Contemplated upon them. Don't answer, just for yourself. Contemplated upon them and tried to suss out, what is this immortal being that I really am? I don't feel immortal. I'm still afraid of death. I'm still afraid that Corona will come and catch me. I will not go out of the house. See? So where's the question of? So have we practiced it? Or like a clockwork, as a default setting, every Wednesday, we just come, put it on, not even before coming to the satsang, we have even looked at the previous verse, what was going on, what was not there, what was the topic. No, Swamiji will recap a little bit anyway, and we'll take it on from there. Be truthful to yourself. I'm not trying to rub it in. But here, the caliber of the student is अनोखा. अनोखा क्या बोलेंगे? हटके. हटके मतलब he has become हटके from his body. He has disidentified from his body. See? So don't forget this. 2 stages. First is do some sadhana. Whether it is japa, whether it is yoga, whether it is kundalini, whether it is kriya yoga, whether it is ashtanga yoga, whether it is raja yoga, does not matter. Don't practice suicide, that's all. Because suicide also you will separate from the body. don't go for that one. But do anything. Don't start it only to push somewhere along the way. Complete it. We did it for 14 years with hits and misses. 14 years sadhana. Then the scriptures came into our life. And an unstoppable event took place, and I had to go and study. It all happened, not I had to. I was pushed. So yes, listen to scriptures, absolutely important. Satsang every day, yes. But on a daily basis, satsang is only 1 hour or 1.5 hours. If you listen 2 lectures, this one and someone else's, or 3 lectures, that's still 6 hours. What about the rest of the 18 hours? You are living contrary to the knowledge. So spend every moment of your life with alertness, with vigilance, with awareness. Not awareness of something. Be the awareness. Watch how the equipment is just taking care of itself, how it is acting by itself. You are not prompting it, everything is happening. And once you have brought this, once you have experienced that you are not the body, then you see this Upanishad or any Upanishad. Ishavasya sarvam yatkinchit jagatyam jagat. Same one. The second part, it is telling Ishavasya sarvam. Here also, Isha. Prompted by whom do the senses function? Prompted by whom the pranas function? Prompted by whom the mind functions, the thoughts function? See? Prompted by Ishavasya. He is the one who is pervading everything. He is not only the prompter, he is the prompted also. From his point of view, there is nothing called prompter and prompted. He is all that there is. Yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. उस ईश में लेश मात्र भी जगत नहीं है. So same way, this amrutatvam, the verse is saying, amrutatvam hi vindate. So what is that? By knowing which we become immortal, we gain immortality. Only that which is of the nature of immortality can give you immortality. How can something that is mortal can give you immortality? Not possible, no? You can understand the logic, very simple. If I have happiness, I can give you happiness. If I have money, I can give you money. But if I have no money and you come, you will not come next time. Hey, iske paas kuch nahi hai, बेकारी है. So you will only go, you want to get a plumbing done, you won't go to an electrician, you will go to a plumber. So if you want mortality, will you go to a mortal object, mortal being? And mortality, mortal being is Jiva and Devas. They are all mortal. Jiva and Devas and gods, all are mortal. Read Bhagavatam. After every kalpa, Brahmaji also has to become unmanifest. So which means Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, along with their potentialities, all become unmanifest. Go back to their source. Meaning they go to sleep. They also have to go. Then what about they touch and they give immortality? That is relative immortality. It's okay. We are in Vedanta. This Amrutatva, once gained, there is no rebirth thereafter. So this Amrutatva cannot be gained by any other sadhana other than that which is of the nature of immortality. So it says, Yat evam atma vidya krutam viryam atmana eva vindate. So mumukshu, the seeker of the truth, the wise ones, then they don't contemplate on the mortal, they contemplate on the immortal tattva. And that immortal tattva is the true nature of the one. And how do they gain it? Here it says, Vidya Kritam, through Atma Vidya. Where do you get Atma Vidya from? Where do you get Atma Vidya from? I'm asking. How do you get Atma Vidya?
From a guru. From one who knows it. From one who knows it.
From one who knows it. How does he come to know it?
By realizing self.
How did he realize the self?
From his guru, from the Guru Parampara.
Good. What was the Guru Parampara teaching? The scriptures. So Atma Vidya as given by the Shruti, which is Upanishads. You study this verse by yourself, you will never understand all that. For last, how much time? Last half an hour I am talking. All that is not, I'm taking the essence out of it. So it must be Shravana. Every teacher, every student listens to his teacher. And while listening, it clicks. While listening, it clicks. See? So this Atma Vidya, what is the nature of the Upanishads? Only Atma Vidya. It's not talking about anything else. And that has to be gained through the teacher. And here, then it says, Ataha Vidyaya Atma Vishaya Vindate Amrutam Amrutatvam. So that vitality which is gained through Atma Vidya by knowing the self, that is direct knowing of the self, aparoksha anubhuti, by abiding in the self as the self, that which results in the vitality, in the inspiration, etc. He can gain it only through Atma and nothing else. And he can't search Atma in someone else. He is the Atma. He is the conscious principle. And therefore, such a mumukshu, such a seeker, such a student like you and me, what do? We engage from where this Atma Vidya is gained. So how did we gain it? By interacting with the Upanishad. How did we gain it? By listening to our teacher. This is the parampara. Very rare few are there. They don't need it. like Ramana Maharishi. So don't compare yourself. ना तो लंगोटी पहनते हो, ना घर छोड़ने की ताकत है. So don't compare yourself to Ramana Maharishi. Nayam atma balahinena labhyaha. That this atma is not available. This atma which is ever present, but it is not available to the one who is balahinena, who is not having the atma bal. Atma bal is self-confidence, that I can, I will, that the grace will flow. This firm conviction, this firm faith, unshakable faith is required. That faith with which for last 40 years you are maintaining your relationship with your wife or husband, or working so hard for your children. Hats off. Even more faith is required than that. That is nothing more. Even more staunch faith is required. Conviction is required. Commitment to the goal is required when it comes to the Atma. Nayam Atma balahinena labhya. It is not available to the weak. And in this way, that this discovery of the self is from within and not from without. Only the student who's walking the spiritual path. And see, here it says that particular Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhyaha, it was told in the Mundaka Upanishad, and Itya Atharvane, it is from the Atharvana Upanishad, Atharvana Ved. Ataha samartho hetuhu amrutatvam hi vindata iti. So, once having gained the immortality, then for such a person, there is no birth and death thereafter. And what is immortality? Where there is no death afterwards. Fear is only of the death, no? Immortality is death-free. There is no death for that person. So you get out of the cyclical birth and death. Now, here, in this verse, pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyada vindate amrutam. In this, the first part is that pratibodha viditam means, be attentive, summary. Pratibodha viditam means we are never separated from ourselves. We are always the constant one. We have never come and gone. Thoughts have come and gone, other things have come and gone. You can keep contemplating. Pratibodha viditam means we have never become separated from ourselves. Second, amrutatvam hi vindate, but only amrutatvam. Amrutatvam is experience yourself to be immortal. And now, instead of saying and finding all the ways how you are not immortal, will be a disservice that we do to ourselves. Then what do we have to do? When we study scriptures, when scriptures are telling you in essence you are immortal, then find ways, find techniques, find the logic, meet or interact with people who only substantiate that. And you come to recognize that, yes, it may not be my experience, but I am absolutely convinced that I am of the nature of immortality. Sometimes, again and again. What does it say, Amritatvam? Experience yourself to be immortal. Then what is the third one? Atma Vidya Krutam Viryam. And here it says that don't seek this strength from without. Don't seek the strength of immortality from without. What is without? Let me pull the carpet now. Without is going to temples. Without is lighting lamp every day. Without is going for Tirtha Yatra, pilgrimage. Without is holding on to the feet of the Guru, Guru Maharaj. You fall in, you want to own the Guru, but you don't want to put his teachings into practice in your daily life. Then where do you find that Guru is also within, that God is also within, that universe is also within? So, Atma Vidya Krutam Viryam, the strength to follow the path to immortality. Initially, it is a path for a student. Don't seek it outside of yourself. Discover it within yourself. See? Very important. Because if you take the support of outside, when the outside goes, your strength will also waste away. Your commitment will go away. So don't depend on anything without, only within. And fourthly, and most important, you can get the Pratibodha Viditam, Amrutatvam, Atma Vidya Krutam Viryam. You can understand this. You are convinced of this. But now you have to live it every moment when you are out there in the world, till you don't come to realize. For living it, that is the application part. You don't have to do anything specific. If you are inspired to do japa, do it. But do it as if there is no tomorrow. One person I know, all the time, even between her calls, the moment calls finish, her mouth starts, the mantra is going on. Let it take over your life, the mantra. And if you are at the same age that where this body is, don't try Kundalini and Kriya Yoga. You'll create more problems than you can handle. Suddenly, after few sessions, you will become Ashtavakra. You don't want to be that. So best take the name of the Lord, or just watch the breath, or chant Om. But whatever sadhana, that is application we are talking about. Whatever you do, bring it to a conclusion. Don't leave it halfway. You start building a house, do you leave it halfway? हाँ, जब होगा समय तब करेंगे. एक का हो रहा है वैसे, लेकिन अभी हो जाएगा. But do you do that? अच्छा, कपड़े पहनने हैं, हाँ धीरे धीरे पहन लूंगा, बाकी तो चलते रहेगा, चलो वैसे ही चलो. नहीं, ऐसे थोड़ा ना होता है. Many people do this. They take the breakfast in the car, they take the lipstick in the car, they take the comb in the car, and while they're at the red light, quickly they will comb their hair, they'll put the bindi, they'll put the lipstick, and while driving they will eat their sandwich, their breakfast, और रास्ते में कहीं पे भड़ाम एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है. फिर उसके बीच में फोन आ जाता है, कुछ हो जाता है. आजकल तो कैमरा भी लग गया, $500 फाइन. It's not to be done on the run. Commit to it. Do it coolly. Apply. So, 4 things from this verse. Huh? First, we are never separate from the self, from ourselves, from the self. Second, amrutatvam, experience yourself to be immortal, and don't entertain arguments that take you in the opposite direction. This acceptance of yourself as the immortal is within yourself. It is not to be declared to the world. Otherwise, डंडा लेके आएंगे सबके सब पीछे, or you will be declared mad. So keep it within yourself till you realize. After realization, oh, डंडा खाओ या ना खाओ, कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा. You are not the body after that. Anyway, the third one was Atma Vidya Kritam Viryam, that don't seek the strength outside, seek the strength within. And fourth one, live it every moment in your life. And with this, then we come to the last verse of this chapter. The Purva Bhag says, the Sambandha Bhashya, Kashta khalu suranara tiryak pretadishu sansara dukkha bahuleshu prani nikayeshu janma jara marana rogadi samprapti ajnanat. So it says that it's a really a matter of great tragedy. What is the matter of great tragedy? Tragedy and that people are getting lost in differences. And not only tragedy, it is frustrating also. That people are getting lost in different, what are the differences? Different yonis. What are the yonis? Here it says, what is that? Sura, Nara, Tirya, Pretadishu. Sura means the Devas. Nara is humans. Tiryak is the that which crawls like the snake and all. Tiryak yoni. Pretadi, Preta, ghost, Pishach, and etc. etc. In that etc. also comes the Deva yoni or ancestral yoni or Machhar yoni. The list goes on. So, depending upon how we have conducted ourselves in our life, determines in which yoni you will go to. Some people do lot of efforts and pujas and havans and everything for what? For gaining heaven. But after heaven again, they have to come back to the earth only once the punya is finished. Again, wah. People get lost in dogs and cats and animals and in the opposite sex, in children, in parents, in gods, in wanting to help the orphans and wanting to help the old people, do social work, without understanding what will be the repercussions of that. what will be the repercussions of that? At the relative level, at the worldly level, it sounds very noble and, uh, very cultured, that you are, a person to be looked up to. But you look today also, you look at all the charitable organizations and so-called people who are wanting to help the poor people or children. It gives them a sense of superiority. They want to dictate their way, their style, their idea of what cultured means. So white mind wants to educate the aborigines and doesn't want to allow them to live their own life according to 20, 30,000 year old traditions. They want to culturally uplift them. Their culture is greater than anyone's. See, you want to convert, you want to help, you want to donate. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके amrutatvamanashuhu. When will man understand that no amount of doing something, no amount of progeny, no amount of name and fame by way of dhan and big projects can deliver immortality to him? Immortality is gained only by him or by the person, by the seeker who has given up. Given up what? First, given up the body identification. Second, given up the I. Lo bhai, swaha. Only for such a person immortality is available. And thus, thinking about different yonis, thinking about different planes of existences, the people get lost in the samsara. And as a result of getting lost in the samsara, what is the journey of the samsara? Birth, growth, disease, decay, and death. That is what it is. Any yoni you go. Even Indra Bhagwan is not spared from that. Eventually, he also has to get out, including Brahmaji. Birth, growth, disease, decay, and death. Which stage you are in? Find out. They are all parallelly going on. If you are in the present moment, I am. That's it. I'm born every moment. But if your attention is on the, I was born on 50, 60, 70 years ago, then I think I am in decay now. Disease तो आ गया, अब decay हो रहा हूँ, अब सिर्फ death की wait है. Realize before that. Be available to the immortal principle that I am. The constant principle, the kutastha. See? Therefore, iha ched vedi datha satyamasti na chediha vedin mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasma lokadamruta bhavanti. Again, Iha ched vedidadhav satyamasti न चेदिवहा वेदीन् महती विनष्टिः भूतेषु भूतेषु विचित्य धीराः प्रेत्यास्मात् लोकादमृता भवन्ति इह चेद वेदीत अथ satyamasti. If in this life, see, if in this life you have come, if you have gained immortality, you have come to know the reality that your true essential nature, then it is all right. But if not, na ched iha avedita mahati vinashtihi. And if in this life you have not come to know who you essentially are, means you have not gained the immortality, or you are not this, you have not come to know that you are the infinite self, then it is a great tragedy that has befallen upon us. This life of human birth, which we have got, is the only opportunity to realize that you are the unborn one, that you are the eternal one. No other species, including gods, have this freedom to know that they are the immortal one. What they talk about God as immortal, that is only relative immortality. For the cycle of this creation, they will be immortal, they will not die. But when the absorption comes, they have to go. Just like our waker is immortal for the till it goes to sleep. Once it goes to sleep, it is dead. He is no longer there. Bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha. Dhiraha, the wise ones. So, what do they think? Vichitya dhiraha. Bhuteshu pretyasman lokad amruta bhavanti. What this verse is saying is Sahasra Shirasha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. The wise people, they come to see this Atma, they come to see this Brahman, they come to see this immortal principle available in every being, not as separate to them. It is that one principle alone which is present in every being. Just as it is one mind which is present in and through the material cause and the efficient cause of the entire dream experience. The past is also the mind, the future is also the mind, the present is also the mind. The top, the bottom, the east, the west, all the 10 directions is only the mind's mind. The birth is mind, the death is mind, the thoughts is mind, the breath is mind, the body is mind, the hair is mind, the nails is mind, the relationships is the mind, everything of the plants, the 5 elements, space, air, fire, water, earth in the dream is nothing but the mind. Nothing has come from outside. If you can bring that experience in the present, in the waking, it will be Om Sahasra Shirasha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapa. And this can happen only Atmatvena. This can happen only Atmatvena. Develop that strength through Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya means study the self. Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Natmanam avasadayet. Raise yourself by yourself. Don't raise yourself by holding a stick. Oh, I will hold on to my Guru Maharaj. Oh, I will hold on to this statue. Oh, I will hold on to the Tirth Yatra. Oh, I will hold on to the Shivji. Initially, it is okay. But you have to go beyond. As long as you are searching for Shivji outside, then he'll remain outside. He will come, give darshan, and go away. Then again, you are at a loss. It was such a wonderful, beautiful, transcendental experience. I cried, Swamiji. The tears were coming, and I felt so accepted that Bhagwan came and gave darshan to me. But where has he gone? Now cry rest of your life. That is his visiting card. Now you have to discover him inside. Now you have to discover him inside. That you are not separate from him, or he is not separate from you. You are both one and the same, in essence. Then there will be no need to have a darshan. And everything is within. Everything is not within, everything is the self. So wise men develop that vision through satsang, through contemplation on the Atma. Satsang is satsang. What is sat? That which is ever existing. What is always existing? The self, the Atma, the true I, the pure consciousness that I essentially am. Satsang is not only this. This is outsourcing. This is outsourcing satsang. You have to insource it now. Where insourcing also stops, then there is true satsang. So who are these wise men? These wise men are those who are able to, they have the knack, they have that vision, they have that ability to see the self or Brahman, that one reality expressing in and through the entire loka. We are not saying only the Prithvi Lok, the entire universe, past, present, future, all the 14 lokas. You don't have to go to the 14 lokas to know that. Your direct experience will be enough. Studies of scriptures will refute all your arguments of the minds or doubts of the mind. No doubt will be left behind after that. And such people, such wise men, because how do we see the wise men? We don't see wise men as spirits, we see them as human beings, isn't it? Realized masters, Raman Maharishi, Neem Karoli Baba, Anandmayi Ma, Ramakrishna Paramahans, Gondavlekar Maharaj, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, or so many Mahatmas, Satya Sai Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba. They are all in their body. In the body, they were living. How were they living? Seeing that one reality expressing in and through everything, as everything. And when eventually the body dies, there is no rebirth for, they attain immortality. For whom is the death? Is the death for the Mahatma? No. If he is really with it, then he is living. Some of them are Jivan Mukta while living. Some are wise. Wise meaning at the intellectual level, they have got no doubt whatsoever. They live their life according to their conviction. And when the body dies, according to their conviction means what the scriptures are saying. They have got no doubt, they have direct experience. But people are seeing their body, and when the body dies, when this house gets destroyed, the house that we are living in, if it gets destroyed, Where does the space go? I'm asking. Where does the space go?
Doesn't go anywhere. It is still there only.
यार इतना स्मार्ट हो गए तुम.
You have just been walled in the body.
Yeah. So space doesn't go anywhere. The outside space and the inside space is one. Similarly, that Brahman, that Atma and Brahman are not two different qualities. They are one and the same. So when this body drops, we think Atma is inside the body. It's not that way. What did we say? How does the Buddhiman live? The Buddhiman, the Vichitya Dhiraha, the Buddhiman thinks in this manner that it is that one reality which is the efficient cause of the creation and the material cause of the creation. With this thought, he allows the body to drop whenever it drops. For such a person, at that moment, he gains immortality. Okay, anyway, let's read. We have to finish this. Iha ev chet मनुष्यः अधिकृतः समर्थः सन् यदि अवेदीद आत्मानं यथा उक्तलक्षणं विदितवान् यथोक्तेन प्रकारेण अथ तदा अस्ति सत्यं मनुष्य जन्मनि अस्मिन् अविनाशोऽर्थवत्ता वा सद्भावो वा परमार्थता वा सत्यम विद्यते. Any qualified person, very clearly he says, iha eva chet manushya adhikrita samartha san. Samartha means qualified. He who has qualified. Who is qualified? Just as this student, when he came to his teacher, this student, when he came to the teacher in the Kena Upanishad, remember when we began the chapter in the introduction? This was the 9th chapter of the Samhita. So in 8 chapters, what has he done? He has worked out the karma and the upasana. That is qualified. He has got no more itch of what? Putreshna, Vitteshna, Lokeshna. He has got no itch. He has got no desires to fulfill other than, I want to know the truth. He has worked out the world, that it is an andhakoop. It is a whirlpool of misery. And if you think, hey, what are you talking about? Whirlpool of, I enjoy my child, I enjoy my grandchildren, I enjoy my children, I enjoy my husband and wife, then continue. Why you are coming to this class? Enjoy, continue. Continue there. Nothing wrong. Important is you should be happy. If you are happy in that, continue. And if your dream breaks, then come. If the dream breaks, then come. If not, now that you are exposed to the scriptures, then now you are in conundrum. You are attached also into the dream and you want to break the dream also. Now, this is a very difficult proposition. But find out what is beneficial for you. We always look for what is in it for me. Whatever we involve, wherever we invest, whatever relationships we develop, if you are listening to this satsang, you are only listening because you are gaining something from this satsang. Otherwise, you would have gone long time ago and started a serial. For all I know, you must be watching a serial side by side. Who knows? I live a balanced life. On one half the screen, the satsang, half the screen, some movie going on. That will be funny if I come to know. Huh? So this person is a samarthavan. Samarthavan, qualified. Qualification again from Vivek Chudamani's point of view, same thing. Putreshna, Vitteshna, Lokeshna. Another way to put it, Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. Vivek, Vairagya, Vivek, discrimination between real and unreal, it has caught him. And that leading to Vairagya. Its application in his daily life is Shatka Sampatti. Shama, control of sense, mind. Dhamma, control of senses. Uparama, indifference towards everything. All the stimuli. And he does all this with, and titiksha, whatever world is throwing at him, he endures it joyfully, not without any complaint. And how does he do all these for? He does it with shraddha. And as a result, he's content wherever life has placed him, as he is, with or without. See? And most importantly, he has innate urgency to know himself as the self now, not tomorrow, now. This is qualification, samarthyavan. Build it up. Build it up. So, having practiced this, having gained this qualification, and while living his daily life, while living in this world, not running away from the world, with whatever supports he needed, he did that and eventually became qualified, and he came to know the truth, came to know Brahman in this life. Not posthumously, within this, while living. That is only we called as Jivan Mukta Purush, no? You can give Veera Chakra when that soldier has given his life. Immortality is not after, no, is not an accolade to be presented to someone after death. It is while living. Then such a person has done, then he has achieved for which he had gained the human birth. This is the purpose of human birth. See? Then what does it say? Atha tada asti satyam manushya janmani asmin avinasho arthavattava sadbhavaha va paramarthatava satyam vidyate. So what has he gained? What has he come to as a result of that qualifications? What did he come to know? He came to know that he is the indestructible one. He is. He understands. He is functioning through the body. That is what people are seeing. But his angle of approach about himself, his conviction about himself, his interaction with himself is I am the avinashitvat, I am the indestructible one. Then what will come? What will be the resultant of that? Fearlessness, abhayata. See, avinashita. Then then sarthakta, ability to do everything, understand everything. And what is the most? Immediately, intuitively. I'm using word intuitively. Sarthakata is sa artha. He just doesn't know that it is not touch and go with the self. What is this self? What is its, who is he? He knows it fully. He understands it completely. He is able to communicate it. Just like a mirror is able to reflect us fully. So who is this wise man? His mind is so pure that the Atma that is reflecting, what is the job of the mind? To have thoughts. What will be the thoughts? Reflection of the self alone, sarthakta. So he is able to communicate it also. Sadbhava, next word is used as va, sadbhavo va. Sadbhav, unconditional love towards one and all, because there is no duality. There is no duality. So sadbhav, sad means sat means existence, bhav means, so the feeling of, it's not mutual feeling. Only if the other one loves me, then I will love. No. Sun gives the light and heat uniformly to everyone. Choice is yours, take it or don't. So sadbhava is the unconditional compassion, unconditional love towards one and all, and that can only come about. It is a natural expression of the self. Sadbhav is the natural expression of the self. Why? Because there is no duality in it. There is no differences. So sadbhavana. Paramarthata va satyam vidyate. Paramarthata, the infinite. Parama artha. He is auspiciousness. He is blessings. He is the reality incarnate. He is Satyam. He is the truth itself. This is the purpose of our life. This is the purpose, not our only. This is the purpose of human birth. न चेद इहा वेदिति न चेद इह जीवंश्चेद अधिकृतः अवेदित न विदितवान् तदा महति दीर्घा अनंता विनष्टिः विनाशनम जन्म जरा मरणादि प्रबंधा विच्छेद अलक्षणा संसार गतिः. And if he has not come to know in this lifetime, in this human birth, the Paramartha Tattva, that which is for his greatest good, if he has not come to know the immortal essence, if he has not come to know the Brahman, if he has not come to know the self in this human birth, in this life, then and if he has not gained the Atma Gyan, then then in this life, then what will he gain? Then such a person will for tada mahati dirgha ananta vinashti vinashanam. ये गाली है ये. This is a curse. What is the curse? Tada, then mahati, great. Dirgha, long. Ananta, infinite. Then vinashtihi, destruction, means he goes towards a great destruction for a long period of time. And what is that? And gets vinashanam. And what is that? Janma, jara, marana, adi, prabandha, avichhed, alakshana, sansara gatihi. Then he goes into birth and death, etc., and he gets caught in the parampara, in the lineage of life and death, life and death, life and death. If he doesn't come to recognize the infinite principle as the self within this lifetime. And keeps going from one life to another, one life to another. And what is life for such a person? Samsar. And what is samsar? Janma, birth, growth, disease, decay, and death. That is samsar. And what are its, if this is the spinal cord of the samsar, then what are the other neural networks? Hunger, thirst, comfort, discomfort, praise, insult, raga, dvesh, sukha, dukkha. These are its tentacles along the main spine. लगे रहो उसके बाद और क्या? So make yourself qualified. We have got 9 Upanishads to go. We have done 2. We have done 3. Kaivalya also we did, isn't it? Kaivalya Upanishad किया है ना? किया है यार, क्या बात कर रहे हो? Retreat किया था. Anyway, we can take it again, doesn't matter. So Isha is done, Kena is done. So get on to the turn on the full on mode. Get qualified, get body disidentified, do some sadhana. See? Otherwise, the repercussions of not knowing the self within this lifetime, that opportunity has been, that is there, then what is the repercussion? Cyclical birth and death. Again in the womb, in the dirty waters. Again thrown out, again studies, again learn walking, again learn speaking, again get scolded. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Again, we don't know if you'll get the opportunity to listen to satsang again or not next life. You know what is going to happen after in the next one. You don't know. Nobody knows. We can imagine what could be next. You don't even know what you are going. Are you going to live or die tomorrow? So the urgency is what? Urgency is mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is the urgency. Automatically qualifications will come. If none of the three above, Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka, Sampatti is not there, Mumukshutvam is there, everything will start coming into life. But then you should be breathing in and out Mumukshutvam every moment of your existence as a seeker. If there is some impact of this statement of the Kena Upanishad. तस्माद् एवं गुणदोषौ विजानन्तो ब्राह्मणाः भूतेषु भूतेषु सर्वभूतेषु स्थावरेषु चरेषु च एकम् आत्मतत्त्वं ब्रह्म विचित्य विज्ञाय साक्षात्कृत्य धीराः धीमन्तः प्रेत्य व्यावृत्य मम अहं भावलक्षणाद् विद्यारूपाद् अस्मात् लोकाद् उपरम्य सर्वात्म एक भावम अद्वैतम आपन्नाः सन्तः अमृता भवन्ति ब्रह्मैव भवन्ति इति अर्थः. Therefore, the wise man who knows the guna and dosh, the pros and cons, Guna dosh, pros and cons. And what is the pros and cons? That if I don't come to realize in this lifetime, I will be thrown off the deep end in the cycle of birth and death and birth and death and birth and from womb to womb to womb to which womb, I don't know where, what will I get attracted? If you are in love with your child, if you are in love with your wife, you will be born as a woman. If you are in love with your husband, you will be born as a husband. ये तो उल्टा इसीलिए बोलते हैं 7 जन्मों का फेरा है. Soulmate, अच्छा, next life opposite. If you are in love with a dog, you will be born as a dog. If you are in love with God, you will go to God, their lokas. घूमते ही रहोगे हर जन्म में. So make a intelligent decision in this lifetime. So buddhiman vijanantah brahmanaha, the one who is seeking Brahman. Brahmana is not the one who is जनेऊ लेके हरे राम कर रहा है या पूजा कर रहा है, उसको ब्राह्मण नहीं बोलते. ब्राह्मण वो है the one who is seeking the truth. So the vijanatah brahmanaha, that brahman who knows, who is qualified. Then what does he? Bhuteshu bhuteshu sarva bhuteshu. Means in all the beings, sthavareshu chareshu, in the inert world and in the moving world, in everything. What is it? Chareshu cha ekam atma tattvam brahma vichitya vignaya. Oh, the Bhashya is itself so beautiful. It just that in char achar, that which is inert world and that which is living, sentient and insentient world. What is this buddhiman, intelligent Brahman or the seeker or the mumukshu? What is his disposition? That among all the creation, the char achar creation, the sentient and insentient creation, he sees that one Brahman alone expressing in and through as the Atma. See, Atma and Brahman is one. So what is he seeing? He is seeing that Brahman itself expressing as the Atma. And he has already understood that my Atma is Brahman only. The space in this house is the total space. So it is that one space, total space, Brahman, which is expressing in every house space, as every house space. हो गया खत्म, गेम खत्म. And Brahma Vichitya Vijnaya, and he, and this is his immediate realization. It is not a intellectual conviction. Vichitya means it is his immediate realization. It is his direct knowledge. What is this direct knowledge? Where there is no corruption of thought. There is no corruption of thought. Oh. Oh. And then what happened? Artha, Sakshat Krutya Dhiraha Dhimanta Pretya Vyavritya Mama Aham Bhava Lakshanad Vidya Rupad. Then when he is ready to leave this physical plane, at that time he discards, because in this physical plane you cannot live without aham and mama. Very rare people are there. They are avdhutas. तो अपनी औकात में रहो. So at the time of departure from this world, he gives up mama and aham, I and mine, mama aham avalakshanad vidya rupad. So he gives up this I and this world of I and mine. And where is this world? Is it outside? No, it is all in his mind only. He gives it up completely. Because that I and mine alone was keeping this body alive for whatever its prarabdha was. And eventually he gives that up in this world. And then it says, Asman lokad uparamya sarvatma eka bhavam advaitam apapannaha santaha amruta bhavanti. Oh, how wonderful. With this type of disposition, as we have just mentioned, with that type of disposition, he withdraws from the world. Now, death is subjective. You can call it as at the end of when the body is going, or like our Parikshit Maharaj, he left the body before the Takshak came, isn't it? Death is with every breath there is death. So what is your approach to it? So here he becomes uparat. Uparat means he has become indifferent to mama, this whole samsara of I and mine, and having withdrawn from it, and then bringing his attention to what? Eka bhavam advaitam. Bringing the bhava of being the one in and through everything. That all atmas are not separate, they are one. And how they are one? Just as space is one, but expressing, borrowing itself to every house. Same way, Brahman is one, Atma is Brahman, Brahmatmaikya Bodh. And what is this Brahman? This Brahman alone, because he's still in the world, he's still in the body. This Brahman alone is expressing as Atma in every home or every body, and that I am. And thus, He abides in the non-dual reality that he is essentially. Ah, देखो. And Amruta Bhavanti, thus he is immortal. He was always immortal. Brahmaiva Bhavanti. He is immortal and becomes one with Brahman, abides in Brahman as Brahman. Brahmaiva Bhavanti. Brahmaiva Bhavanti iti arthaha. It's like the husband coming back to be the man. He was already the man. He only gave up all his attachments and all his roles. That what is the role? I and mine. I am the husband. I am the man. I am the husband. Why? Because this is my wife. So he gave I and mine. Then he came back to be the original. Man is a common noun. Husband is also a common noun anyway. But here, that Brahman was a hat he was wearing on with reference to wife, which he had included as mine, which he can never make his own. Similarly, this seeker, we are all born in this body, which is not ours, but we take ownership of it. And by becoming qualified, thinking like these wise men, by following the Upanishad, by thinking in the lines of Upanishad, by not taking any support from outside, but seeking the support within of the self and nothing but the self. Atma Vidya, Atma Bala. That alone can give us the strength. Then here it says, Sayoha vai tat param brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati Mandakopanishad iti shrutehe. Sayoha vai tat param brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. He who comes to be conclusively comes to know the Brahman, becomes Brahman. In other words, he is always Brahman. Just as the wave is always the infinite waters, just as that limited ornament is always the infinite gold, just as that limited pot is always the infinite mud. Similarly, this individual limited entity, which I consider myself to be at this moment, separated from that infinite reality, is in essence the infinite reality. Come to realize this, come to be immortal, take advantage of this opportunity of human birth that has been given to us, like these wise men. That opportunity is there with all of us. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Sit quietly for a few moments.